Yes, I was. How? I don't know how that happened. I am so sorry, guys. Sorry, A-Trans. I've been talking for like what, 5 minutes muted. I should have noticed. I have my thing here, and yeah, it was muted. Why? How? How did that happen? I didn't touch it. Was that by default? I gotta pay attention to that. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Ah. Well, that happens. It's live. It's part of the business, you know. You learn, you make mistakes, and then you learn. But thank you so much, guys. Otherwise, if you hadn't been here, I could have been talking for an hour and just realized it after when I watched back the stream. Uh well, okay. I don't think I said too much. So the only thing that I said was that I did a little bit of setup before the stream where I created this entry in the services.config file and then added this key in my .env file, and that key has the OpenAI key, my secret key, which I'm not gonna show. So the .env file is never gonna be shown, but I can show you this part. And I'm going to use this other snippet of code to actually make the request to the text-to-speech service using that secret key. And now I just need to figure out where and how to use it. Anyway, so my plan and what I have envisioned is, let me just send this real quick, and you're out. Usually I can publish. Interesting. Anyway, you go away. Where is the, here we go. So my idea is I can probably make the request when I click next, since I already have the add copy here. I can make some validation on the service, the add copy itself, the radio station, the service, date, and however many times I selected. So I can make a validation here for all of those fields. And then when I click next, I can use the after validation hook on the on this, what's it called, the wizard form, and then perform that request there, get the file, somehow try to make the file name unique so that there are no conflicts, because I can always go back. That's the thing. As soon as I get to the review part, which is number 2, I can totally go back, change the add copy if I didn't like it, and then click next again and recreate a new file. My idea is that I'm always going to use one file name, because in the form I can just take the file name or create a file name, save it as that, and if I go back and try it again, then I just have to check for the form field and make sure that if that has a value, then I just have to delete the previous file and create a new one, or override the one that probably just override if I'm using the same file name. Yeah. Still, the only thing that I haven't planned out is the fact, the situation or the instance where a user can just leave after step 2, like get into the review and just close the page and never do anything, which would leave me with a stranded file. That's the only part I haven't thought yet, but I'll worry about that later. For now, I just want to have a file created that I can then review on the next step with maybe some kind of audio player. We can use the HTML audio tag here. It's not, that should be enough. So yeah, that's the plan. Let's see if we can get it done. Let's start with, let's open the form real quick. So add, create add. This is too small. There you go. So this wizard should have a, sorry, it should have a after an after validation hook. And actually, let me go and read about that because I don't really remember. Let's go to form builder, find the wizard here, and rendering a submit, customizing, adding the setting, allowing, persisting, step lifecycle hooks. Here we go. I'm looking for after validation, and that's just one call, and we can call a function there. Oh, it's on a step, not the wizard. It's on a step. That's better. So let's add it before the schema so I can always have it before everything else. So have the schema there. And then let's add one more call to after validation. This will take a function called back. I'm sure I'm going to need some stuff here. And in fact, I am going to need the get. Just so I can get the value from the add copy, which is what I need to send to the text-to-speech service. So let's do get. I haven't, now that I think about it, should at least make the add copy required. All of the others are required too, but for now I'm just going to set the add copy, which is the one thing that I need. I'm going to make that required so that you cannot move to the next step without that. Okay. Now let me go and grab that snippet of code from here. Yoink. No, yoink is not gonna work. Copy. And I can just close this down. And paste. Things that I'm going to need is HTTP, illuminate support facades, HTTP. This file name. Let's see what we can do with that. Hey, AF Devs, how you doing, man? Thank you so much for joining me. So glad to see you here. So we need something unique, just in case many people are using the form and creating their own file name. So I think for uniqueness, about we do maybe a UUID. I think there is a way to create a UUID. Ooh, what was that? Happy sounds. Auscriptor just follow. Thank you so much for the follow, man. So nice to see you here. Say hi in the chat so I can say hi back. So Laravel, and why is that my AirPods are not connected? There. Testing. Okay. Just making sure I didn't mute myself. Let's see. UUID. validation string. Here we go. So it's just using the str facade with UUID, which will generate a UUID. I think I tried this before in Tinkerwell. Let me see if I have it still there. Oh yeah, here it is. This is how you do text to like a UUID string. I'm going to comment out everything else. You just do str, which comes from Illuminate support. Illuminate support str. It's not a facade, it's just the str class. So you call UUID. This gives you back an object, not a string. And then you have to call toString on that to get the actual UUID. If I do that, this is what you get back. So I'm going to use that as a file name. And the good thing about this is that every time I call it, it's a different string. So that way I mitigate the chances of someone getting the same file name twice, two different people getting the same file name. Let me copy this and go back here. Let's create a new file name. Like that, and then I can do file name .mp3. Should get the response though. I need to check for the response. Just make sure that I got a successful response. Because if I don't, I have to stay here and display an error message. Then in that case, I should go look for HTTP because I don't really use that class very often. This is about routes. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Oh, there it was, HTTP client. Here we go. Making requests, authentication, timeout, retries. So I get a response body, JSON object, collect, not what I wanted, not what I wanted. Here it is. Oh, I can just do response OK. That should be enough. So I'm thinking if response OK, what do I do if I have an OK response? Oh, wait a second. If I'm going to override this file every time I click the next button, then I only need to generate that UUID field once. Hello, Jean-Pierre. How you doing? Thank you for joining me. So nice to see you. How do I do this? Maybe if I just let's try this. Let's add the setter here. I'm going to need another form field. Does the table have a, does the table has a file name column? Because I'm going to need a hidden input for the audio file. Create ads table. Nope, there is no file. User ID, registration, service, business, schedule, add copy. We're gonna need another column here. Table. This is going to be a string. Let's run this migration real quick. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Oh, it's a seeder problem. Because I'm creating an ad. Okay. Yeah, this is the problem here. Okay, so I think I brought in a test file from the other project. If I'm not mistaken. Should be in storage. No. Public? Yeah, here it is. So let's give this file to this ad. Audio file. That's when your hand moves one key over when you're not looking. So that's when Puke happens. File, audio file. That should be, if I'm going to look into, it should be just the name. I'll figure out the path later. So let's just call it speech.mp3. Run the migration one more time and we're good to go. Man, this AC is doing nothing for me. Hold on. Maybe if I try to, because I have the door open here, maybe it's just the air is just going out completely. Let me see if I can try and close the door so that the air stays inside. One sec. And why is everything freezing? Frozen. What's going on? Can you guys see me? I hope I didn't lose you. I just saw my image frozen down here and I got worried. Seems to be fine. Okay, I'm just gonna close the door. Be right back. All right, let's see if that helps because I'm cooking in here. So now we have an audio file column. Let's go back to the create add component. And I'm going to make a hidden input for that column. I'm not going to make it required, and I'm going to just put it in step 1. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that file name here if it's not set already. So if not, get audio file. And then let's do set audio file. Oh, I gotta move this up here. Hold on. Another idea. If we do have it, then we set that to file name. Otherwise, you go here. File name would be get audio file. So this is just me trying to. So whenever you click back on the wizard and you try again, I always want to use the same file name. So the first time that you try, the first time that you click next, you're going to get a file name as in the form of a UUID. And I want to keep that file name for as many tries as you do, because when you call this part here, the sync part, I want to use the same file name every time so that I don't have to go and delete one file and then create a new one. Instead, I just override the same file over and over again until you actually go and complete the form and you create an actual ad. So if we have an audio file, put it in the file name. If we don't, create a new one, put it as the value of audio file, and then make the request with that file name, with the token to OpenAI, and input going to be get the value of get add copy. this all happens after you validate the field. So I'm sure that add copy, at least because that's the only one I made required as of now, I'm sure that that's going to have a value, and that's what I'm going to send over to OpenAI. If I have a good response, what happens here? I think instead of checking a good responses, I should check for bad responses, because that's the only case where I should stay in the same step. You may use the after validation and before validation methods to run code before and after validation occurs on the step. But what happens if I want to stay? Oh, here. Preventing the... Just keep reading, man. Just keep reading. Preventing the next step from being loaded. Inside after validation or before validation, you may throw the filament support exception halt, which will prevent the wizard from loading the next step. So this is what I need to check if the... So if I have a bad response, then halt. I do need to fill in the maybe an error, but how do I do that? Let's just figure out that in a moment. For now, let's just go with if response. What was the other response? Oh, here. Can use failed. So this would be true if the response status is anything over code 400. So everything 400 and up, that's failed. Okay, so we can pass message here. I'm wondering where that message is going to be shown. Can we get the response error in case of a failure? Let's see. I'm guessing the response body will be the error in this case. I really don't know. Error handling, yeah, I'm looking at that, but throwing exceptions. I guess I can just pass my own message. Let's just say Oops, something went wrong. That's descriptive and that's descriptive enough, right? I will always remember what that means. Okay, so I think that's all. We just have to test it, right? Hmm. Let's give it a try. Why not? Let's say login again. I'm feeling everything, but I shouldn't have to be honest. All right. Now this shows that's required. That's what I wanted. And what happens if I do next? Okay. Didn't import the set class. Is that it? Wait. Hmm. That's weird. Try that again. Little by little. You're not gonna give it? Give the suggest. I hate it. What is this doing here? Huh. Okay. One more time. Third time is the charm. Oh, oh, it did it. It did it. No errors. And if I check the storage folder, there it is. And it literally said, I hope this comes out. I don't know if it's going to.
One more time. Third time is the charm.
You hear that? Third time is the charm. Okay, so that's working. Now, what happens if I go back and try again? Should have the same file. The same file, but with a different add copy. Click next. Work again. Same file, nothing new. I'm gonna close this just in case.
I should have the same file but with a different ad copy.
And again, I should be hearing that in my earbuds. Why are you not? Come on, buddy. There you go.
I should have the same file but with a different ad copy.
All right, that worked. Thought it was going to be way harder. Are you good? You guys can hear the file? I don't know if it's coming up in OBS. One sec. I'm gonna play it again.
I should have the same
Yeah, I
file
can
but
see
with a
it.
different ad copy.
Let's have fun with this. Why don't we? I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to create an ad for a fictitious, I don't know, catering service. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna turn off my screen real quick just to get the open ChatGPT window ready. 1 second. All right, here we go. Create an ad copy for a fictional, is it? Catering service company. The ad text should be less than 200 characters. Put, I don't know, service types of service, contact information, and what else? That's it. Contact information. That's it. That's it. I don't know why the first word that I read was carving, and I was like, that's kind of ominous. This is craving. Craving great food at your event? Try Delicious Bites Catering. From weddings to office parties, we've got buffets, plated meals, and more. Call us at 555-1234 and book today. Delicious Bites, your event, our passion. Get that and put it in our text to ads. Going back. How do you think is this going to, what do you think this is going to come out as? Like a dash? I don't know, let's try it. I'm curious. Here. Close it just in case.
Craving great food at your event? Try Delicious Bites Catering. From weddings to office parties, we've got buffets, plated meals, and more. Call us at 555-1234 to book today. Delicious Bites, your event, our passion.
It just doesn't use it. It's smart enough.
Craving great food at your event? Try Delicious Bites Catering. From weddings to office parties, we've got buffets, plated meals, and more. Call us at 555-1234 to book today. Delicious Bites, your event, our passion.
I mean, it's a little like, call us at 11555-123. Book today. Our passion. Whatever. It's a little monotone, but I mean, for an AI voice, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Wonder if we could try a different voice. I don't remember the voices, but let's not worry about that. Right now, what we can worry about is now that we have a file, we can add a control, like a preview layer somewhere over here. Let's try and replace this placeholder. Put it right below the add copy and just render a good old audio tag. Okay, let's grab this. Put it right below the add copy review. And instead of a blade render, we could just do good old HTML string, maybe. And let's see. Filament shield. Let's filament shield. Is that a plugin for... Yeah, it's a plugin, right? Hmm. I've never used this before. Okay, I'm gonna give this a read and see if there's a video to be made here. But yeah, I'll definitely take a look at it. Thank you for the suggestion. And hi, Hisdin, by the way. Thank you so much for being here. So I'm guessing I am going to need a function here because I need the value. No, do I need the value? Yes, I do need the value. So here, instead of just returning a new HTML string, change inside parentheses, not that parentheses, change inside parentheses, and I'm going to use a function here. Maybe I could get away with the shorthand function. I need the getter. And I need it so I can do new HTML string. I'm going to create an audio tag. This will take a source, src. There I can put in, wait, this going to be, if this is going to be in, this is in storage right now. Oh, we have PHP in the house. Hi, how you doing, man? So nice to see you here. Should have created that file inside public, like in here. Or maybe not. I don't know. Okay, let's just leave it there for now. No, but that's not going to work. This has to be related to something that I can use in the page. So I'm going to move it into public only because I believe I already ran the artisan command, which is PHP artisan storage link. And that gives me this folder here in the public folder, this storage folder, which is just a symlink to this public folder here. And you can see that the file's now there. So that way I can do in the source, I can just point it to storage from the root. Yeah. Storage. And then the file name. And the audio file already has the MP3 extension, doesn't it? No, it does not. Does not for now. I should fix that though. So it's audio file, and then I have to, no, not that. Then I have to add the MP3 at the end because I didn't add it. What are you working on right now? I'm working on a small project that I'm using to flex my OpenAI muscles. So basically, in my country, which is Costa Rica, there is a website that advertises, that's basically sells radio ads. The way that they do it is they have a form where the user can type in the ad for their business and then choose the radio station where they want to go, and they choose what kind of service. Right now there's only one service, which is a this is not right, a $12 per ad, like a 30-second ad at $12. And they choose the day and what times they want that ad to go. And in the way that is done is that someone takes that text and does a recording for the ad, and then they put it on the radio. What I'm doing is something worse because we are not doing any recordings, and I'm just going to send that to OpenAI and get an audio file right away. And I'm charging the same price. So yeah, it's just a fictitious like ad radio service thing. And as of now, I can take this text and send it to OpenAI, and I get back this file.
Craving great food at your event? Try Delicious Bites Catering. From weddings to office parties, we've got buffets, plated meals, and more. Call us at 555-1234 to book today. Delicious Bites, your event, our passion.
And yeah, that's what I'm working. That's what I'm working on. So we create an audio tag with a source in storage, public storage, which would be here, .mp3 with a file name. And I believe we have to add controls so that we have play and pause controls on this component. Then we just self close. I think that's how it's done. Thank you, thank you. Let's try that. Okay, so let's reload. So let me go and grab that text again. I'm going to create another one. That's good. Create a variant for the same app. Right? Let's take that, copy, paste it here. Not gonna feel anything else right now. I just need to see. Okay, it's going, it's going, it's gone. And that didn't work. I don't see the source here. Let me check why. 403. Failed to load resource. Oh, forbidden? Really? How come? Oh, there is an extra. Yeah. That doesn't work, does it? Why is there an extra thing? Lost it. Of course. I'm a dumbass. This goes here. That should do it, right? Hopefully. Let's save that. See what happens. Okay, that is fine. There is no file. But I should render it only if it is. I'll take care of that in a moment. Paste that again. Oh, am I getting several files right now? 1 second. Oh yeah, I did get a new file. And right now I'm gonna get another one. There's also storage path and publish path helpers in Laravel. Yeah, the storage path is the one public path. Yeah, I should use the public path actually. Because right now I got a new file here for
Make your next event unforgettable with
for the new ad copy. Because when you reload the page, and this is what I was talking about before, when you reload the page without saving, you are left with a stranded file. I'm not going to take care of that later. I just don't want to think about it right now because I'm going to get... But yeah, let's fix a few things here. First of all, the place where we are creating the file. All the way up here. So it should be the public path, right? No, wait. Should be the storage path. But your file is not under storage public, but in storage. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to fix. I'm going to create every new file inside the storage folder. And within that storage folder, I'm going to put them in app public so that they show up in the public storage folder here in the public folder. So it'll be storage pad. And if I go to, if I do app, wait, no. App public. That should do it, I think. I wonder if I have to do a trailing slash like that. Let's give it a try. And in fact, I'm going to delete these two files. I don't need those. Can you go away? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. What's going on with you? Delete. Refresh. Oh, there you go. Well, my thinking, William, is that if I use the public path for writing, that's going to be a problem, because right now in the public folder, let me close everything here. In the public folder here, what I have is a symlink. If you look at this little arrow here, that means that this is a symlink to the actual storage folder. What I don't know if I can is if I can write to this folder here from inside the public storage folder. But if I write to the storage app public folder, then whatever I put here is going to be reflected in the public storage folder, if that makes sense, because it's just like a yeah, it's a symlink basically. So my idea is, if I need to read it in like the audio tag, in the HTML audio tag, I'll read it out of the public folder. But if I have to write it, I'll write it to the storage path inside app public. And I think this should work. Yeah, but okay, hold on. Where's the, when I'm reading it here. Now, here I'm reading it. I can just use storage because this storage folder, it's on the public folder. The thing is, I don't want to use the public underscore path to write the file, right? I want to use the storage path plus app/public to write the file into that folder. And then I can just read it out of /storage in a relative URL here in an HTML tag. Or maybe I can write into it. I'm just not sure. I'll try it out, okay? Let me try first the public path and then reading it out like this. And if it works, I'll go and try the public path to write it into the public storage folder, which in turn should write it into the storage app public folder. Is there anything I haven't saved? Nope. Good. All right. Create a file. Where did the file got created? Ah, now it works. See? This file is, hold on. The file got created inside storage, app, public, and there is a file. And then I can read it out of public storage.
Make your next event unforgettable with Delicious Bites Catering. Weddings, corporate events, and more. Buffets, plated dinners, we do it all. Call 555-1234 now. Delicious Bites, where flavor meets festivity.
Let's try it with the public now, with the public path helper. In fact, I'm going to delete this file. Refresh, thank you. And let's go over to where I'm writing the file. So if I do public, what is it? Public path. Then in that case, I need to use storage. Right? Because within the public folder, I have to put it in storage right here. See if that works. And in fact, let me just make sure that I actually put the MP3 in the file name. I don't have to do this. And when I'm reading it, any reason why you're not using the storage facade, which also would take care of the name? No reason, no particular reason in this case. No. So what happens is when I do HTTP, when I do this HTTP post request, what I'm doing is I'm just using the sync method on the HTTP helper, which will take the file out of the response and just put it in a path. But I didn't think about using the storage facade in this case because I just have to give it a path and the file is there, and I just need the file name. But I should look into the storage facade now that you mention it. Yeah. One sec. Local driver. When using the local driver, all file operations are relative to the root directory defined in your file system, which should be storage app. Okay. So the contents. You know what I could do? Now that I'm thinking about it, this could maybe help me solve the stranded files problem, kinda. Because what I can do, is there a copy method here? retrieving files, downloading files, URLs. Copying and moving files. Yeah, okay. So what I could do is not use the storage file for the creation, but for the when you save the add, when you get to the end and then click save, I can first put this file in a temporary folder while the add is being created, and then when you finish the creation, I'll just move that file into a permanent folder. And then I can maybe have a process that runs in the background every other minute, or maybe once a day, I don't know, that will clean up all of the files in the temporary folder that are older than a certain amount of time, maybe a day, and that will take care of files that are stranded from people that just quit without saving. I think that'll do. Yeah, I can just do storage copy at the very end. Just take the file out of the temporary folder and then move it to a permanent one. Just gonna make a note of that before I forget. We can maybe finalize that part once we're done with this. Willie, if you wanted fancy, recently Laravel supported temporary. Yeah, I thought about that. It's not that I didn't, but I'm worried about, what was I worried about? So I was thinking that in this process, it's hard to gauge how much time the user needs to save the file, and I don't know if the temporary URL is going to cause more problems than to solve them. But yeah, no, I definitely thought about that, creating the file and then just generating a temporary URL for the user for this what is it, for this preview thing. But then I thought, no, I can just have the file there until the end and then just have that file be part of the final record that is created, because I do need the file name and the path to it at the end. So kind of makes sense to kind of make it a bit more permanent throughout the process. And yeah, then when it comes to orphan files, like I said, we can just have like a process in a temporary folder, and any file that is older than 1 day just poof goes away. You could invalidate it if the add didn't go through or was downloaded once or whatever. So, okay. I'm gonna look into it. It sounds like a good idea, and I did thought about it. I don't know why maybe for ease and for quickness I didn't go through with it, but I'm going to look into it, because if I can just have a link and have it be valid until you actually save it, if I can invalidate it at will and on command, then yeah, that would be useful. And just have them be like a day old. If the user skips, like having a max valid date, like 1 day or even less. And if a user saves and goes through with all the process, then invalidate the link and just have the file name be stored. Yeah, sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna look into it. Sign route versus temporary sign route, I guess. Okay. I'm gonna make a note of that. Where was I? This is not. Okay, so I fixed the file name here. I deleted the file name already. So I have to create a new one. Did I not save? That's why it's still there. Okay, just copy this. Let's save. So if I do public storage file name, already has the MP3 in it. And down here, where I'm reading it, I don't need the extension. All right, let's try that again. See where the files ended up. Public storage. Okay, no, that's fine. I can write into it. That's okay. Good to know. I didn't think I was able to write into the public folder. And now I know.
Make your next event unforgettable with Delicious Bites Catering. Weddings, corporate events, and more. Buffet.
All right. It's looking good. This is how it looks. It doesn't look bad. This is what? Chrome? Well, it's actually Arch or Arc, but that's Chromium. Can I see how it looks on Safari? Come on. I'm gonna have two files now. Oh, a lot smaller, but it looks good either way.
Make your next event unforgettable with Delicious Bites Catering.
All right. And now I have two files. Good. So yeah, this audio HTML audio tag, it just renders a browser specific audio player, which it's fine. I'm not very keen on having my own style for the player. As long as you can play and pause, I'm good with it. Chromium one is big though, chunky. Oh, and you can download it. I don't like that. Well, what are you gonna do? You're actually paying for the file to be put on the radio. So if you can download it, can I prevent a download on this thing? I don't know. I don't know what value is people going to get from maybe just using it as a free text to speech, just abusing the hell out of it. Maybe. How can I prevent a download? Let's see. Attributes, autoplay, controls. Will offer controls to allow the user to control audio playback, including volume, seeking, pause play. That's okay. Control list, cross origin, disable remote playback. Is there anything about download? Autoplay, a Boolean attribute is specified. The audio will automatically begin playback as soon as you downloading. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh, no download. Here we go. Wait. Control list. The control list attribute, when specified, helps the browser select what controls to show for the audio element whenever the browser shows its own set of controls. That is when the control attribute is specified. Oh, what? The allowed values are no download, no full screen, no remote playback. So let's try no download. Control list. The hell is this? Yeah. Well, let's not make it easy, right? That'll be for power users. Let's just not make it so everyone can... Oh, that's my free text-to-speech page now, that I don't have to pay for it. And that's where the temporary link comes into play. Could come into play. It's already public. You're right. Rate limiting? Yeah, that could be one thing. Rate limiting. Hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting problem to have. Yeah, it doesn't remove it. You know what? I'm not gonna worry about that right now. That's a future me problem. Right now, I'm happy with the fact that I can create the files, and at the end of the process, after checkout, I can just save it in a database, and then, yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that. Let me review a few things before we call it a day. That was all I had for now. So I think the next step would be obviously validate errors, because I haven't done that. Maybe I just make a wrong request or provide a bad secret value. Then validate that. I need to put a review of the time slots, because you can select many from the time section here. So for everyone you select, in the next page, you should have a total value. If each, and I have to fix this because this is supposed to be $12, not 12 cents. So we have to clean up the review page, add a total value. And then at the end, we need to think about the paddle payment system. All right. And then take care of the moving the files from temporary to permanent. A lot of things to do, but I think today's plan was accomplished and I'm happy with that. So let's call it an hour and 25 session, and we'll meet on Wednesday to keep working on it, if that's okay with you. Thank you so much for joining me today, Willie and everyone else. Let me see. Come on. Willie, PHP, Hesdin, Jean-Pierre, AF, Transcode, and That Naing. Thank you so much for joining me today. And for everyone else, if you found any of this helpful, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, follow me on Twitch if you are not doing so already. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Let's see if we can find someone to raid. No, that's not what I want. It said raid. Bye, Willie. We have coding with strangers, or we have ferrets. I think ferrets would be fine. Yeah, I'm going to send you over to the ferret software string so that you can look at some adorable noodles. All right, everyone. Bye-bye.